Hi everyone, State Senator Eric Berthel coming to you from your capital in Hartford, Connecticut. Today is Tuesday, September 28th. The State Senate is in today to vote on what will be the sixth extension, 6 times that we've been here to extend the state of emergency and civil preparedness, public health emergency and civil preparedness in Connecticut, which, as you all know very well, results in the extension of the authority for Governor Lamont to issue executive orders. Today, the debate amongst myself and my colleagues in the chamber will include discussion on a few items that I think are important for the public to understand, and for me as your voice in Hartford to get clarification on. First thing is, what is going to define an emergency going forward? We are currently somewhere around 1.8% infection rate in Connecticut, which is, in the eyes of some, statistically zero. It's not really an infection rate when we looked at a year ago infection rates that were 10, 12, 15%. So what number do we need to get to? What percentage of infection rate do we have to get down to before we no longer have to declare an emergency? Is it zero? Because I've read from reports out of scientific evidence like places like the CDC that you can't ever get to zero. We're always going to have some amount of COVID infection. Hospitals have about 300 patients with a COVID-related diagnosis. We have 27 acute care hospitals, so that's about 11 or 12 patients in a hospital. That is not a crisis for a hospital, and not every one of those patients is critically ill. So what number do the hospital admissions have to be down to, COVID-related, before we are no longer in a state of emergency? We have a responsibility to you as your legislative body to ensure that the legislature functions with the full authority to be making laws in Connecticut. And every time that we come into this beautiful place and we go to work under this gold dome in these historic chambers, and we allow the continuation of a state of emergency that gives the exclusive authority for our governor to write any law, to issue any mandate, we are circumventing an entire branch of our government, and that is fundamentally wrong. That restricts our freedom, that restricts our ability to choose, that restricts our ability to truly do what we want as a free people. And I will vote no today, just like I have every other time that I've been here in this chamber on this issue. I will vote no to end this state of emergency and take away this unprecedented power, which, by the way, with this continuation today, will take those powers out to nearly 2 years, half of the governor's term and almost an entire term for a legislator in this building. This needs to stop, and I will continue to fight against it. And while we're talking about this, we had this event occur in Hartford over the weekend. I'm so happy to see that people come out and want to support farming in Connecticut. But this event, which took place at the Xfinity Theater, you might know it as the Meadows, holds 35,000 people. And on top of that, we have a new tourism campaign that's been launched in the middle of a state of emergency. So it's okay to do this and have all of these thousands of people gather. It's okay to promote Connecticut and ask people to come in and visit our beautiful state in autumn when the leaves are changing and there's pumpkins and fall festivals. But it's not okay to end the state of emergency. What I need you to do is to reach out to the governor's office. Reach out by phone, by email. Come and protest on the lawn if you think that that will help. Right? Because that's done here, and that's part of the beauty of this building, to have your voice be heard. But you need to tell the governor it's time to give control of the lawmaking process back to the legislative branch of this state government. I'll be back to you with additional updates as we continue to work through and up to the beginning of the new session in February of 2020. Thanks for your calls and your comments into the office, and please follow along on my website at senatorberthel.com. Thanks a lot.